Am I live? Fame makes a man think things over, makes her looks hard to swallow. Won't you there when things are hollow? Fame, 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 fame. Is it any wonder I reject you first? Hi people, how you doing? Hi Prima Wanda. She talked too much. What's going on? God before everything, always and forever. Black Mamba. Oh, okay. Black Mama each. It's Z. Lily 23. How y'all doing? Hi, Mr. Lane. I am Mrs. Red. Miss Red. There's a Mrs. Red and a Miss Red. I am Miss Red. I got to come on here and talk a little bit about this situation with TS Madison. Of course, we were all ignoring this thing. Apparently, there's some fella who I don't know if it's not clear to me if he's a porn star or is he a trainer. One of the two. Anyway, he was on TS Madison's show in 2019, right? So about 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago. And TS Madison addressed this case. I guess she'll address it once to let it die. But the guy is accusing her of sexually assaulting him, right? Now, she's an ex-porn queen, and he's a porn star. Now, I don't know. That's allegedly, because it's not clear to me. While he says the man is a porn star, on the show, it appears that she's some kind of trainer. But what's obvious to me is this dude appeared on that show in 19. So all this sexual assault he's talking about, this occurred on the show. So we would all be privy to this assault of his, right? This man is on this stage with no clothes. He got no top on, no shirt on, making his muscles pop. He's lying up against her, rubbing on TS Madison and her co-host. They're all being very physical. They're joking. They're laughing. They're having a good time. This man is not being assaulted, right? This is an obvious clout chase. He appears to be a curb creature. Apparently, he has even asked her to move into her house during COVID or something like that. She was trying to explain. This is after this assault of his. He is a gay man. She is a transgender. Gay men and transgenders don't have nothing sexual. They were simply promoting this show they were doing. They were all equally involved. I would say that the boy was more involved because he was involved in both persons. Her co-host was not rubbing and laying all in her lap and all in her titties and all that. You know, Miss T.S. Madison's a voluptuous woman. He's all up on the titties and all that. Oh, look at that. And flexing the muscles, making the titties jump. So he's taking that situation and saying now that she abused him. Yes, she does rub his arm or shoulder or something like that, but he is rubbing her just as much as she is rubbing him. And the co-host is rubbing just as much as both of them, right? The person does not come after the co-host, which probably had a bigger role. No, he comes after the one with the clout. Now, we don't know if this is going to end up being some kind of shakedown where he's going to try to get some payout for her to make it go away. But there's nothing there. As T.S. Madison expressed tonight, the statute of limitations is over anyway. But if she had to fight him in court, it's very obvious what was happening there. He's a curb creature, right? He's doing anything he can to get clout. He's on his page talking shit about her now. And how you gonna become famous overnight? Attach yourself to someone who actually has some clout. That's how you get clout for yourself. That's why they call them clout chasers. They're just chasing after celebrity. In this case, it would be this nickel and dime YouTube celebrity. But it's obvious what is going on here. I hate to see that person attacked like that. Unfortunately, it is part of celebrity. You're going to find these trolls who attach themselves. They're going to accuse people of stuff. Tasha K ain't made it no easier, which she come on here with all these lawsuits. Now everybody's suing everybody. Every other week we got to hear about somebody suing somebody else. A lawsuit. I'm suing you because you can't even talk. Anyway, I'm calling bullshit on this. I don't think there's anything here. I know it's difficult when you try to put that on a person and force them to talk about you. I'm sure you're the last person she wants to be talking about. Why would she want to be talking about some gay dude? TS Madison, if nothing else, she got money. She have her choice pick of these boys. A lot of these pseudo masculine boys, they're attracted to transgender people. Surely she could do better than this little skinny guy, right? But he was actually physically there. She said that she hung around after the show. He was not under any duress at all. Why would you go on these transgender people's show to talk about sexual issue with no clothes on? Did people go on Johnny Carson show with no clothes on? But what the fuck is the point in that, girl? And then you gonna claim somebody sexually assaulted you? How do you assaulting you if you grabbing this leg and she grabbing that arm and the other one is laying over the hair and he and everything is laughable, right? It's all laughable. Unfortunately, when you left that building, she went on to create a career for herself, and you, what? Nothing. You got nothing. Only thing you can do is hold on to the fact you were in TS Madison's house. So you're throwing her on the bus. Wally, I include you in this. It is wrong for you. You acting like that man's got some kind of real case. Oh, justice for whatever his name. I ain't gonna say his name if I didn't know it. Justice for, oh, he assaulted. Nobody's hearing his case. Nobody's hearing. No, we saw his case. We sit here and looked at it. If you guys want to see the case, if it's interesting at all to you, you can go into what T.S. Madison posted tonight, and she is showing the actual incident where he's claiming he was sexually assaulted, even though he's on the stage with these people. The girls are fully clothed. You're not. Right? You're not. You're joking about charging $2,500 or $3,500 because of some shit. That's what the Asalano brothers was charging. What's his name? Justice Smollett at the time. That was the story. What they were talking about. There's no abuse there. This is a simple case of clout chasing. The people in her chat were saying that he's actually behind in his rent, 4 months behind in his rent. So we don't know if it was 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, whatever. He's broke. He's a curb creature, right? And so he's trying to attach himself to have a story circulating. Therefore, people will look at this dismal pages that he has to try to come up. It's pretty pathetic, actually. If you're going to be in the industry, you need to make friends in the industry, honey. Not just making enemies wherever you go, because just like you think you got over, look, they coming to my page. They coming to my page. Child, they are looking at how you treated Madison and say, no, don't bring that dude up in here. We don't need him up around us. We don't need him invited to the party. No, he's uninvited to everything, honey. Ain't nobody gonna want to fuck with you, right? No matter how they feel about TS Madison, they can see the stunt that you pulled, right? And nobody's want to have you in their personal business, so they can end up on Twitter. He touched me. She put her hand near mine, and then she touched me. She touched me. Why don't you put your clothes on? And maybe they won't be so tempted to feel like they can touch you. Why not get out of their lap? How about that? Straight man. Well, I don't think he claims to be straight. She says he's a homosexual. He's a homosexual. So he likes men, masculine, muscular means. Let me see what y'all think. Y'all watch that? I don't go over there a whole lot. It's a different audience than my audience. But it caught my interest because I see Wally's been on here talking shit about this stuff for a couple of weeks. Of course, he'll jump on anything and throw anybody up under the bus to try to get him a day or so of clout. Wally, you really are a pretty disgusting individual, and all you're doing is making enemies, right? People are watching. We're all here, honey. We are here. We are here. We are here, and we know what you are. You were calling this woman some. How's she abusing him? He's a grown ass man, right? He's a grown ass man. Apparently, a porn star is what you said, but of course, we can't go by anything you say. He's a porn star or he's a trainer. Either way, it's very obvious that he's on there being extraordinarily sexual himself. He is the one who is without clothing, not them. They're making jokes. It's a comedy show. Y'all see that mess? She talked too much, says, have you seen Jay Wilson? You know you're going to distract me, girl. Why you do me like that, child? Why you treat me so bad? I don't know why, baby. Have you seen Jay Wilson's travel advice every other day, girl? Child, he gonna talk about that boring ass 2 day, a day out, stay there a couple hours, and then turn around and come back. He gonna talk about that for 8 months. How can you do it? How can you not feel any shame at all after coming on here and presenting that you are going on some cruise with your ride or dies? You're going to go on a cruise. We're going to have fun. Ooh, we're going to have a good time. We're going to have fun. And then after you get them all signed up, then you spring on to you're actually a travel agent. And then you're doing this for to get commissions. And I'll try to build some other career, another career at 55 years, goddamn years old, child. How many careers have you had in the last 5 years you've been hanging around here, girl? Right? I would be ashamed to admit that, oh no, this was never about any meet and greet. This was never about a party. This is me trying to be a travel agent, right? A travel agent is yet another title to add on to the back of the name, right? I am a doctor, psychiatrist. What else is he? All flying waiter and all this shit. And then you add on to the end of it. I'm also travel agent, right? That was your plan from the very beginning, Jay Wilson. And you need to apologize to those people, right? And you think you have done so much, but you ain't done so much until they write that check. Anybody can send in $25 just to get in the business, honey. Anybody can send $25 ain't shit, right? Well, you need, they're not going to pay you shit until they give them the whole $300 or $400, right? So you ain't did nothing, boy. And every time you try to get yourself some new streams of income, I believe in streams. Why don't you tell them that before you start booking this trip, girl? That you was into for streams of income. You came on here and repeatedly had to say every single goddamn day that you ain't getting no money. I ain't getting no money. I ain't gonna touch the money. We just gonna have a good time. We gonna have a good time. Then you go out and buy a romper, and now, oh no, let's have a romper contest. Let's have people wanted to wear that two-piece, girl. They wanted to wear that two-piece, but now since you had to buy a romper because your body's fucked up, now you want to make it a romper contest. So everybody got to be wrapped up out on the boat with a bunch of fools out here with these jumpsuits on. They had to pay for that too, right, Jay Wilson? They had to pay for airfare, right, Jay Wilson? They had to pay for the boat, right, Jay Wilson? Now you want to buy certain clothes, right, Jay Wilson? Clothes that you had to buy to cover your scarred up ass. What was I talking about? Why you do me like that? You know what's gonna happen. She talked too much. I can't even look at that shit no more. I just can't do it, girl. I said, let me go over there and get me some content. That voice is too much, first of all. And then when the first time she says something about that goddamn boat, girl, I said, I can't do it. I can't do it. Y'all notice I ain't been on here as much, right? I can't even go collect the content, girl. What's up, Tim, baby? How you doing, Ken Williams? Sha Duke. Black Mamba each. Yeah, she gonna be giving the travel advice. Now she's a travel agent. Girl, ain't you tired, man? Ain't you tired? Girl, you left college. What was in your 20s? Early 20s, but was supposed to be leaving about 24, right? You stressed it out to 32, 40, 35. We don't know how many years it took you to get all these degrees, girl. But aren't you supposed to do something by now, Jay Wilson? You still trying to start new careers now, girl. You 55. What are you, the Colonel? Oh, he like the Colonel Sanders. You know, Colonel Sanders, he started his career at 60 years old or thereabouts, right? Is that what you're doing, Jay Wilson? So now you have another reason why you leaving the beef section. Oh, I won't be on so much. I ain't been on. 23 hours, girl. You ain't been on. You ain't been on since yesterday? Falling in love with you too. Falling in love with you too. Fall in love. It was the best thing you have ever done. On YouTube, you feel so pretty on YouTube. Nigga, you ain't never did nothing but be on you have a YouTube channel, being over here being a silly catty queen. This thing. That's it, girl. So every time you do something, start something new, you start claiming this victory. Like you claim that when you became a chaplain, you immediately claimed $130,000 salary. Wasn't but what 4 months later you say, oh, you got a $40,000 raise. Why do you have to constantly try to be something that you're not, Jay Wilson? Right? You know, no success. You can't follow through with anything. Even if you wanted to be a travel agent, look at the sloppy way that you do this. Coming on here telling people they have to have a good time, a meet and greet on the water. No money involved, no money involved. Now here we are 2 weeks later. Oh, I believe in streams of income. Ooh, it's very lucrative. It's very lucrative. Who do you think is watching you, Jay Wilson? Right? People see, okay, this is another scam of his. Look at that face. I got to shave. Yet another one, honey. What's going on? TS Madison did a live chat and she deleted it already. Oh, she showed the video of his boy on that he's talking about. He got abused. Nobody's gonna take this shit serious. Girl, take your black ass and sit down some goddamn where. Ain't anybody taking this shit seriously. All the people going to promote it is Whitey. Like it's a real story. You're a porn star. You out on the stage, half naked, laying in Queen's arms, and now they abused you. Nobody gives a shit. Are you over 21 years old? I'm just saying. Full grown ass man. Oh, Judge, she touched my shoulder. She touched the shoulder blade. Sir, if you don't get your ass out of my courtroom with this bullshit. I mean, I know sometimes they ain't gonna talk like that, but that's what a lot of times that's the judges are thinking. You've got to be. How much you pay for this, right? I got to. You know, we have they have a stenographer in the courtroom, and they got to pay the security guy, whatever. We ain't got time for this shit. My time is valuable. A judge makes pretty good money, honey. You're wasting all this time and effort for this. You're a grown man. Have you ever worked in the porn industry? So why are you so sensitive? Anyway. Hey, everybody. Yes, I'm up. Y'all know my birthday's tomorrow. I'm going to be singing happy birthday to myself. Y'all come on in. We'll see if we do it. Maybe you should do it StreamYard. I don't know. Yeah, 65 is a landmark. I'm just happy to be alive, honey. Okay, here we go. Betty White. TS is not a woman. So, I don't care if she's not a woman. She's a transgender woman. Why can't she just be who she is? Right? I don't know why people feel like you got to be, oh, you a woman. You're not a woman. You're not. I know I'm not a woman. I'm a transgender woman. I was born male and now I live as a woman. It ain't that complicated, really. Betty White, why are you acting like that? I didn't think you had that in you, girl. Is that a real Betty White? She's always been a sweetheart over here. I don't. This person is coming across as a homophobe. So there, I got newsflash. There are transgender people in the world. Accept it. It ain't got nothing to do with you. It ain't none of your business. You want to watch it, watch it. You don't want to watch it, don't watch it. Right? Stop thinking the people need your approval. They don't need the approval of them hags down at the church. They don't need your approval. They just are who they are. If you can't accept it, I mean, I think it makes you look kind of foolish because it's sitting there right there in your face. Anyway, you under suspect, Betty White. I don't think that's the real you. I ain't never heard you talking like that before. Don't force me to call a man a ma'am. I won't do it. Is that the real Betty White? Moderator, y'all got any idea? She done posted. I see. Okay, I think that might be a troll. Just using her name, because why would Betty White all of a sudden be posting 20 times just to say homophobic shit? Baby, there's all kinds of people in the world, right? I think that we as Black people should understand this better than anyone else in the world, what it's like to be discriminated for no reason at all. I don't like you. So what do you mean? So what? Who gives a damn if you don't like me, bitch? I don't only know you. Obviously, I don't like you. This is your personality. There are transgender people in the world. There are gay people in the world. There are Black people in the world, white people in the world, all kinds of European people in the world. And they're not all white. They just, y'all grouped them all together, call them white, right? But that's from all different kind of countries. What is that, about 20 different countries, girl? They come over here, all of a sudden now they're white. Over there, they were Italians, and they were Swedish, and they were all this other kind of shit, right? So when they hit the shorelands of the United States, they're white. Anyway. Why do you call a man? Do anybody have any idea if that's a real Betty White? I've never known Betty White to come over here and make all these different posts just to express their homophobic views. I've never seen that personality. It seems like a different person to me. A lot of these people, they will use someone else's name and whatever their avatar is just to troll. People, you're putting too much on this thing about who is a woman, right? You keep forgetting this is a man's world. This is a man's world. It wouldn't be nothing. Everybody's not trying to be a woman, honey. Everybody, you act like you have the golden grail. No, honey. There are some people who are feminine. Maybe they have a hormone imbalance. You ever think about that? Maybe it's something that they simply cannot handle, honey. I mean, they can't change. They are who they are, right? But everybody ain't trying. I ain't trying to be no woman. There's a lot of them. The real stupid ones will say, "Oh, you gay, you're not a woman. You're trying to be a woman." Girl, that's never even occurred to me. Right? I'm a male. I'm attracted to masculine energy. Right? So Miss Madison is the same person. I'm attracted to no gay boy. What am I gonna do with you? I ain't got no dick for you, honey. Okay, so the moderators have left you in, Miss Betty White. That must be you. Maybe you got a little tick in your personality that you have a prejudice against those kind of people. We're not throwing you away. We're saying, because a lot of us have got different kinds of prejudice in our life. The issue is the respect for other people, right? Just because you harbor some prejudice in your heart, just because in your heart, in your car, when you're by yourself and you're cussing at cars that go past and you find yourself cussing at all Mexican people, you got a problem with Mexican people, that doesn't mean you have to express that you have a problem with Mexican people. Nobody cares. It is your own struggle. Your hatred is your struggle. Your hatred is not from God. No matter what you think is in that Bible, your hatred is not from God. It's from the Antichrist. The opposite. Elaine, why do you call a man? Why you? I'm sorry. I know, Betty White, you are a faithful member over here. You've been, if you are the real one, but I'm taking you out because this really offends me. I'm sorry, honey. You got to go. We don't want to hide her. What do we do with her, moderator? Got her pin message, report, remove. I hate to get rid of the girl because it might be the real one. Can we put her in timeout or something, moderator? I'll take full responsibility. I don't think that's her, but if it is, then she has a problem with transgender people, which we are LGBTQ people. And I just don't want to be spreading hatred over here. I'm not having that kind of conversation. Not again in my life. You want to be hateful to people? Well, do it on your own time. Okay? Wally is King Clout. Wally's full of shit. He over there acting about, we gotta investigate TS Madison. Oh, justice for Bubba, whatever fuck his name is. Justice for Bubba, his homeless ass. You need to be going and giving just Bubba, or whatever his name is, girl, a cash app so he can get a room tonight. They'll do anything. Just like Wally do the same stuff. He attaches himself to people. He dogs people out. He cusses them out. He does all that stuff, and he could care less that he's harmful to their reputation or just harmful, period. Just call people child molesters out of nowhere, honey. Oh, somebody said it. Somebody said it. We gotta investigate. Why aren't the judges involved? Why, girl? If you don't sit your black ass down somewhere, Wally, don't be so desperate, honey, and so uncaring, right? Because people are watching you, Wally. And what I've noticed lately, you boast that you have been doing well over there in the entertainment sector, all this kind of stuff. But what I've noticed, Wally, is that your numbers are back in the toilet. You're barely breaking even on these videos of yours. Now you're convinced that this is the way to go, trying to give people court cases, accusing them of all kind of sexual impropriety based on what some homeless person says, right? You do a lot of that and you think that you're getting over it. I don't think you're getting over it. That's why you got to go back to work. You got to get your ass back on that job. I don't know if you got to use a mop bucket, if you're changing diapers or whatever the fuck you're doing, you had to go back to doing it, right? Because your formula is not working, right? It's not working. Now, I know I have went in on some of these people here, but I think I generally have a respect for people. Respect me. I mean, they will know that I won't do certain things, right? So eventually, when the beef is over, they can say, you know, that really is a decent guy. They can't say it about you. You'll lie and say anything you want to say. And everybody remembers, honey. That's why they don't want nothing to do with you. So you're not making any alliances over there, Wiley. The ones you're calling friends one week, the next week, you're all up under their dress, right? Trying to ruin them, embarrassing them in front of their kids, their mothers and fathers. I'm an Aries too. You're an Aries too? There's a lot of Aries. Oh, that was a busy month. Or 2 months. It starts in March, right? Some of these hateful devils are Aries too. I can't stand the idea that Wilson is an Aries. Ugh. Giving us a bad name, Negro. Yeah, I don't know if I'll do stream. I don't. We'll see. Tomorrow's the day, though. Why are you going to have somebody pull up and hit me tail too? There's a lot of ass kicking going on around here. I see lately, child. Every time I turn on, somebody else want to meet up. They want to meet up and kick each other in the ass. I guess they're getting on planes and flying coast to coast. Black people always like that rough talk. Right. I'm gonna kick you in the eye, nigga. He gives everything a bad name. You're right about it, baby. You're in Aries too, Diane? Okay. Okay, I see Deanna was on, but I clicked on the video and it was removed. Yeah, I saw that, Linda B. I watched the video, and then at the end, she was almost finished. At the very end of it, somebody flagged the channel. Apparently, it was taken down. But then, Linda, when I went back to start the video over again, it was playing again. So I don't know if that's a glitch. What that is? Hi, Charles Dawson. It's my birthday, March 26th. Ashley, okay. Thank you, Deandra Jamerson. Oh, you at me? I got a new phone. I don't know why. Something about getting old. These damn machines just drives us nuts. Everybody wants a new password. What's your Google password? What's your home password? What's your email password? Oh no, that password was changed. Oh, you go to that password. Oh, okay. You want to add your Facebook? What's your Facebook password? I don't remember. I put it in there 6 years ago. What's your Facebook password? Oh, here's one. Is this it? No, you changed that one a year and a half ago. password. God damn. And I know it's something that this associated with age because all the old people I know say the same stuff. But I had to get a new phone. I had to get the 5G. They don't charge you much to upgrade them. So it wasn't it. Just now you got no pictures in there. They did transpose the context though, thank goodness. I got 2 books. I guess they're in there. 2 books full of passwords, scratch outs, write overs and all that. You're lazy. You just want to make a note and then you say, I'll come back to it later and make a list. Never get around to it. By the time I get around to the list, then sometimes they're telling you, change your password. I said, God damn. Anyway, it had me all frustrated today. I did finally figure it out. Then they want to do two-way verification. We'll call you. You can tell them it's you. I said, damn, didn't the password work? You need a password to get to your password? Some of the silliest things confuse me. I've learned, though, if anything goes wrong with any of my computers, don't touch nothing. Because every time I start trying to figure something out, I make it worse. So don't touch nothing and get somebody who knows what they're doing to look at it. Right. Hi, Ed Gee. I ain't seen you in a while. Well, but I'm having a hard time. I still love you. Oh, thank you, Ed Gee. Welcome. I haven't seen you in a little while. I spent the last 3 weeks trying to change the password to my DMV. Ooh, I had to go get a DMV account too. I had apparently my California ID was 3 years. It was 3 years. No good. What do you call that? It wasn't current. And I was trying to get some paperwork done somewhere, and they couldn't do it because the information was expired. My ID expired. Come here, boy. Ding ding. And people had convinced me that I needed to get a real ID so I can travel, right? But the people at DMV told me, no, that's still good until 2025. They've extended that because of COVID. But at that time, 2 years from now, we got to go take our birth certificates down there and all this stuff. So we got to dig up our birth certificates. You got to have all this documentation just to get on a damn airplane. Although we've been getting on the same airplanes for how long has it been now? Since the Wright brothers. Anyway, so they got a new thing we got to do. I guess they don't need a password. Baby, if you do it, I'm going to put you in the dungeon. What are you doing? Shut up. Baby got a new haircut. Any special birthday plans for tomorrow? Well, my niece and nephew want to take me somewhere. My nephew, his birthday is 2 days from mine, so we usually do them together anyway. But now my niece just moved here, so we'll do something together. It's not nice to have family here now, California. I didn't for the first 30-some years. So we do something. I think they said they wanted to go out. You wouldn't believe my reaction when they say boat. They have these little rides you could ride around the bay. It gets windy out there. No, I'm not interested in that, but we'll go somewhere. So that's what I'll do, Charles Dawson. I ain't got no man to cuddle up with, have no candlelight suppers or nothing. Birthday was never a big deal for me. Some people, they make the whole month their birthday, and it's a big celebration for them. And I think a lot of it comes from how you were treated. Your birthdays were treated when you were young. Like some people have always had birthday parties when they were kids and all that kind of stuff. And then it's just a special, like a holiday for them. You know. Same. I always make it worse. Diving deeper, you make it worse too. Start pushing them buttons. Damn. Ah, shit. Take your hands off the keys, honey. You make it better. And sometimes you go to sleep and the next day it'll be better. Like I figured out how to get my my phone together after I went to bed and started the next day, my mind was clear and fresh. I already had my first cup of coffee. That was a good time to do that because it was so simple to what I had to do. Right. It might take 2 years to get them to change. They just change them. They want you to always change them. Then you got to use 2 letters and 1 symbol. Then you got to use, oh God, you have 9 letters in this one. I said, well, damn, I wanted to use the same ones I use on the other things, so I remember it, right? Oh no, you got to be something different. So now you don't remember the password, but you forgot what letter you put on the end of it. They force you to put a number on the end of it, child. So you got to go back in your book again. These machines will be the death of me. The machines are taking over, baby. Thanks, Charles Dawson. You know, I always like you. I always like to see you. Happy birthday to you. Hope you come on your birthday so we can celebrate a little bit of it. Yeah, I'll be here. 9 letters, special characters, girl. And a drop of blood, honey, from your firstborn child. Wanted to be. So have you ever dealt with someone who wanted to be supported financially? No, Edgy. When I stopped doing drugs, I mean, obviously in the drug world, it's all about dope, right? So they don't care if you look like a goddamn Brahma bull in the face, if you're paying for everything. So in that way, I was always a trick because I was drug dealing, right? So the guys that were hanging around, I realized they wanted what I had, but the physical part still worked. But as far as somebody meeting someone since then, or in the last 20 years, no, I haven't encountered that. But I haven't been dating anybody, right? I think that a lot of times, if you're attracted to younger guys, and most men are not trying to find them a 67-year-old, you know. So if you're attracted to younger, but they expect it, at least in this world, the gay world. And something I've always recognized in the gay world is that usually if you see committed couples, lovers, people who love each other, one is usually 10 to 15 years older than the other one. That's right. And so usually they'll end up carrying more of the financial burden because they're older, they're more established. That's part of the attraction. But me, I haven't encountered that, no. If I were meeting people. The spring is coming, so usually I get out of the house more when the spring comes. So maybe it's a possibility you can always meet somebody. But if you want that young stuff, man. Now, when I say young stuff, I'm talking about people in their 40s. 40s would be 20 years younger than me. And also, if you're like younger people, most of those people are still in the working world. And so it's a little odd because they want to talk about their job and their work and all that kind of stuff. And I am a retired person. I enjoy being a retired person. Most of the time, I enjoy being a single person, really. But we're just in 2 different spaces. It's one thing if you're with somebody and then at some point they retire, whatever, you retire a few years later and you have a relationship. But as far as getting a relationship in your 60s, I think it's really extremely hard. Even though we're walking around here and everybody's lonely, it's still, we just don't connect so easily. When I was 20s, I just made eye contact. That was enough, honey. You make eye contact as you're going back to the restroom, right? And when you come back, he got his phone number written down on a piece of paper. What's love got to do with it? What's love? A couple that has that kind of age gap. Yeah. Well, I can see it. I mean, if I'm dating a much older person, more than likely they are going to be more established. That don't mean that you're incapable of loving them. Some people are looking for a daddy. And some people don't mind being a daddy, right? Particularly if they feel like they have power over you now. That since I'm paying the bills, that makes me the daddy, and you can go pick up my cleaners and you can clean the house. And why ain't the clouds? Don't put me in the role of a housewife. You know, at this point, I would have to be the daddy, right? And I just ain't got that kind of coin, baby. I got nothing but love for you, baby. What you got? I got nothing but love for you, honey. Yeah, whatever. Uh-uh. That's all money that I can be buying statues with. uh, but you know how these men is, honey. You spend your whole life with them. Then at a certain age, they start having midlife crisis. They want to trade you in for a younger model. Some people say, "Oh, he's not like that. He's not like that." Then the next thing you see him, he was somebody half his age, right? Trying to hold on to youth. It's the male thing, I guess. Although there are cougars out there as well. We can set up you with a blind date. Ooh, no, honey. If he ugly, I'm gonna punch him in the face, Ashley. What the fuck you want? Get your ass out of my house. He sure is ugly. I ain't never going to no blind date. You got to be their attraction. I think we lose something with all these machines too, because back in the day, you used to go and you meet somebody because you saw there was a connection there, right? People call it love at first sight, or whatever it is, the energy that goes between two people. That's been lost, in my opinion, because people are just on their phone looking at pictures. That's how they hook up today. Now, if I were a wealthy man, oh yeah, of course I'd have somebody. I wouldn't mind taking care of him if I could afford it. It wasn't an inconvenience for me. Maybe I could help him get through school or whatever. I wouldn't have a problem with it. I knows who I am and what I am. Yeah. Well, at first you really don't know. I was involved with a man for 8 years. I talk about my lover who passed away years ago. That was my only real love. I had another lover before him, but my real lover, the person I think about every day still, uh, he died in, I think, 91. But after that, when I was out there in the world, I had this guy. We were together for 8 years, but our connection was the business, right? I was a connection. He hooked up with me. We became tight, but he liked me. He named his child after me. He eventually ended up with a woman. She got pregnant. They got married, but they named the child, the middle name, after me. So we connected, but it was all around dope, money. It was still kind of cool. He is. Hopefully, he's doing well now. He became an electrician, masculine. I didn't even consider him to be bisexual. He seemed like a straight guy who had sex with men. I kind of enjoyed that I got under his skin a bit though, because he really did have affection for me. You know. Charles Dawson, you something else. Tim, don't underestimate the bedroom love making skills of an experienced, seasoned, wise man. That's what Miss Medea said. All this experience. Yeah, so to a degree, an older person, an experienced person, could possibly be better in bed. They're more experienced. I mean, before they need the pill, they need to they need the pill by my age, right? But the young person still is physically more attractive. So if it's a stranger, then you're going purely for the physical. But we all know that the people that you actually form a bond with or whatever, they may not even necessarily be your type. You're attracted to the person at that point. Mhm. Oh, look at that. God before everything. God before everything. Why did you have me send you the Meth Monster? Obviously, you read it already. I could have sent you a different book. I sent them off today. But I didn't have to send you the Meth Monster again. Yes, that's Corey. I was hot for Corey, honey. He was fine as hell, too. He looked just like Brad Pitt, at least in my mind. We're still cool. I see him on the street, we still speak and everything, but he was basically a straight person. So when he got off dope, he went back to what he liked, which was a woman. Mm-hmm. When a man loves a woman. Yeah, that kind of relationship is not healthy though, because I was always standing in for what he really wanted to be with. Our relationship was more of a business type relationship, which the physical was cool too. We did the physical for 8 years. That's a long time, but it was like sometimes he would be in prison and I'd be on the street, or I'd be in prison, he'd be on the streets. But I don't know why, but somehow strangely, many times we were both on the street at the same time. Sometimes even getting released within days of each other, right? And so it was good. I have pleasant memories of that, but that was never my lover, you know. Some people call them trade. The ones they call trade, that's usually not gay people. That's when between a straight man and a gay man. They call that trade. Some people call anybody they have sex with trade. Tell us what you think about Donald Trump, girl. I think about what all black people think about Donald Trump, except for those few pitiful Republicans, black Republicans, 3 or 4 dots in a sea of thousands of whites. He's a con man. He's a horrible person. He's a racist. And a person who'd be given so much in his life, you would think that this person would not have to be a racist, right? But he identified the hatred in America and he ran on it. We had just had a black president, these truly racist people. They hated that idea. They're always worried about losing the majority in this country. Quickly, this country is quickly becoming a minority majority, right? They fear that, right? He tied into that. So that's what he ran on. So I would think that somebody who's been given so much for nothing wouldn't be so hateful. He was inciting riots even when he was campaigning. He was always telling people to punch somebody in the face, right? He's got so many character defects that Donald Trump. No, he disgusts me. I wish they would throw him in jail since he want to make history. I think it's very the nerve to try to. How many presidents run for president again? You already done, man. You fucked it up. One-term president. You made a fool of this country when you were there, over in other countries, kissing Putin's ass. Everything about him sucked. Only right decisions were made by other people. So no, I detest him, and hopefully they'll get him for more than just paying a prostitute or, excuse me, porn star. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is somewhat annoying also that they're talking about him so much. They're going to talk him right into the White House, right? Like constantly making him an important political figure. They could talk him because all those hateful people who put him in the White House the first time, they still alive. They ain't going nowhere, right? You would hope that after he has shown his ass for 4 years and 3 years past that, the people would recognize what he was, try to even steal the election, cause the insurrection on the White House. Didn't even give a fuck to bother to stop it, right? He actually took pleasure in it. You would think that would be enough, but nothing has been enough with this guy, right? So maybe that's what makes him a good con man, because he can read what people want. He came off the escalator talking about how horrible Mexicans were. And all the Mexicans were rapists. Mexicans are rapists, they're drug dealers. Now, how can you make a statement like that and then run for president? He represents everything evil and bad about this country. Mhm. Hot for Corey. Ooh. Yeah, Corey was a hot one, honey. Big old butt. Hmm. I tried to look him up. Hope he ain't going back. Somebody told me that he went back to dope. I don't know. He was when I met him, he was 25. No, he was 24, and I was 32, something like that. I had 12 years on that boy. So I was 30, 36. He was 24. I think I was 32. Anyway, at least 10 years. Hopefully, he didn't get back. Staying sober, I mean, getting sober, anybody can get sober, right? But staying sober is easier for, I think, in my opinion, older people. These guys, they're still young. They still have a lot of that in them, that energy. They want to have fun. They want to go out. They want to be popular and all this stuff that goes along with youth. So I'm just hoping that even if he did go back out, he's gotten himself together again. Good person, construction worker. As I recall, he put in windows in new construction. Hot for Corey. His real name wasn't Corey. I had to change the name. You read Stormy's memoir? Oh, that's where she got her money from? Okay. I was always wondering what was her angle? What was she after by telling on him? I mean, she did take the money, right? But I was always curious. I know she wasn't trying to do it for the country. Was she trying to get him to pay her more or what? I don't know. But a lot of those guys who wrote books, they got their money. Cohen wrote 2 books, and I think both of them were bestsellers. So he got some of his money. He's the one who went to prison for a couple of years. I wouldn't want the job like that. Having something like Donald Trump crawling all over you and going into your body. Ugh. Yeah, he ain't too sexy, honey. But he's delusional, as Andrew would say, with that comb over. I mean, how could you look in the mirror and think that looks good, child? They said they try to put when they sew the hair in the head, it hurt too much. Ow! Ow! Get the hell out of here.
Could you try again?
What the hell? Girl, shut your ass up, Siri.
My mistake. Please try again and tell me what were you looking for.
Get your motherfucking ass out of here, Miss Siri. She must not like Trump either. You know what? I've never used this Siri thing. I think when I first realized that I had it on this computer, I asked it a couple of questions. But I haven't used a lot of this technology. I read Stormy's memoir too. It was interesting. Okay. I'm tired of him showing up on every internet search, every news show, right? They're going to talk him right into the White House. And that would be horrible. That would be horrible. Horrible state of this country. We seem to be doing so much better, till he came along and drug us right back 10, 15, 20 years. Brought out all the hatred in the people. They didn't show up for him for that damn. He assumed that it's going to be, thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And it looked like it was just 100 people who showed up for that court case. He trying to incite another riot and put some more of them in jail. They all go to prison. He stays his ass in his ivory tower. Bubba don't want that ass, Linda B. I feel like just tell me when you lock him up and Bubba shanks that ass. Oh, shank him. Yeah, they might stab him. They ain't going to fuck him though. Right before the election, they had Trump butt naked in the Castro. They had to take it down. The city made him take it down. They had that body, all that. Oh, it was disgusting. They have it right in the middle of the street. Butt naked Donald Trump. That's a real narcissist who can put up with all that. I don't think he did anything as far as the White House. Those are people telling him what to do. Every time he went overseas, he made a damn fool out of this country. Y'all see him when he was in I think he was in London, and they had all these leaders together. Y'all know what it's called? All the leaders together. They had to be maybe 100 and some countries there, right? And he was slightly behind somebody, and he pushed the man out the way to stand in front. Sick. Mm-hmm. He ain't gonna leave them children nothing but a whole bunch of debt. Mm-hmm. I would think that just that a man can't get a loan in the United States of America, have to go overseas, that would have been enough to convince me that this is a crook. No bank in the United States will loan him money. They got him on tape talking about all this disgusting things he wants to do with women. Nothing. Nothing compares to your hatred, because nothing compares. He ran on race. I think that's the bottom line, honey. So he's gonna go and attack. Remember how he broke up all those Latin families? It was cruel. Little kids in cages like animals. Hateful. Then he's talking about America first, but he marries 2 foreign ladies just because they're white. That's the only difference. Why we gotta let them shithole countries? Why we always giving money to them shithole countries? People who are dark. That would be awful. I seriously think about moving to Canada. Well, I ain't moving to Canada, Charles Dawson. He ain't gonna chase me out of my own damn country. We have certainly paid a price to be here. You emailed me? Okay, Dante Gilbert. I'll check it out. Okay. No, my spring break was in March. I do have this Friday off though. Oh, you getting the day off, Charles Dawson? For Easter Sunday? Maybe I'll put that on my bucket list. I don't like no long rides. I don't even like riding in cars. But it might be nice to go and see Canada. They've got some pretty impressive cities over there. Pretty close. Take a trip through Canada. Mm-hmm. I got to find me a husband first. I don't want to travel by myself. What fun is it? Look at that. Oh, look at that. Look. Ain't nobody there to say it to, honey. No, you got to experience traveling with somebody, I think. Let me see. Ooh, Twinkie Totes. I just saw who was interviewing that woman, Marjorie. I think it was 60 Minutes. That Marjorie Green. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Sick, another sick Republican. She sounds just like one of them. She was raised in a house of them. Her father was a sick Republican. All he watched was Fox News or conservative radio. She picks it up, so she mimics everything they say. Everything Trump says, she say better. Mm-hmm. They're sick people. It's amazing how people like that can survive or be in the world, really. But people will follow them. There are all kinds of people in the world. Mm-hmm. What's the best city in Canada? Is that Vancouver? I only like big cities. I really don't like country kind of places. You're an avid solo traveler? You can go. You can just get on a plane, go to New York City, and have a good time by yourself. I can't. I never did that, Lady Dimples. Well, I mean, I moved to California by myself. I was moving here though. It wasn't just going on a trip. When I went to New York, I went with my partner. We were there for a month. Yeah, I guess I used to come when I was in LA. I used to come to San Francisco. I partied a couple times by myself. Then I was running because I had relapsed on AA. So I don't remember when you see me drinking. So I came up here. Toronto is the capital. Toronto is the best city in Canada. It looks very beautiful from afar. Montreal. Is that where they speak French? Toronto. Look at all the big cities over there. They have a large LGBTQ community. Didn't they get marriage before us? Several countries got marriage. We was dragging our ass with that. Solo traveling. Yeah, I never go anywhere. I have friends to go to Vegas every year by themselves. Seem to enjoy. Well, Vegas. I mean, you don't really. We get off the plane. Mostly people sit in front of them damn machines or tables. So they don't need. That's not a thing you do with a partner, right? It's something solo any damn way. So even if you are there with somebody, you hardly know it because you're all doing your own thing. Your focus is on gambling. Twinkle says the best way to go by yourself, you can do exactly what the fuck you want to do. You don't have to wait on anybody. I understand. Okay, I feel you. It makes sense. I like living by myself. I don't got to ask nobody what you want to watch tonight, or you too loud, or turn the lights off, turn the lights on. All that changes when you're in love with somebody, though. You actually care about what they want to do. You want to do things together. But if God say no, God say no. He said you had your chance, you had your love, you had a lot of different experiences, honey. And the Bible say there's a time for everything. If he decides this is what's most healthy for me, then that's what it's going to be. I might take a little trip somewhere, though. I should. The sometimes moderator Gamage, he wants to go down to L.A. I lived there 15 years, so it might be good to go see some people. Thank you, Cheryl Cheryl Murphy, for super chat. Appreciate you. Only thing I miss about marriage is my dog. The only thing you miss about my marriage is my dog. The wife kept the puppy in the settlement. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Can't take the child. Did you get another one? God before everything? Get you another baby. And I saw one that's so cute. This lady in the park, she's an older lady. Well, was older to me, but she's older than me even. But she had this cutest little dog. I don't know what he's called. His name was Chester. And the dog died just I think 3 weeks ago. And it was so sad because she was so close to this animal. And obviously she had him for 20 years or so. And then I was in the park the other day. She had an identical dog to what she had. She lost. They were the same breed. They were unusual breed. But she had the same dog. But it was a little tiny puppy. It's so cute. They make all the difference. Especially when after you retire, when you have time to actually be home with them all the time. Man, my dog, he go crazy when I leave him. Where you going, Daddy? Supposed to be here with me. Shut up, dog. You just a dog. Hell. See, he sleeps under my chair right now, always with me. That's why we get so close to him, because we're always with him, It ain't like these men folk, honey. Have you seen him? Yeah, girl, I saw him down at the club with this floozy. Tell me, have you seen him? Can't throw it. Okay, I can't, Uncle Tim. It hurt to lose my baby. Can't go through it again. Yeah, that's a mystery to me, God before everything, because some people who've had pets for a long time, let's say the average is about 15 years, bigger dogs are about 10 years. But when their dog dies, they don't get another one, right? And there's some people like that lady and like myself who don't even make it a couple of weeks, right? We immediately go get another pet. So it's difference. But some people, it's just like they lost their husband, honey, or their wife. There's a guy in this building that he was extremely close to his dog. He stayed with him to the very last days, and even when the dog could barely walk and all that. But he never. I assumed that he would get another dog because they loved the dog so much. Never got another one. It's been a couple, 2-3 years. Now they are work. That last year is probably it is very stressful, and usually it costs a lot of money to try to maintain them, keep them right. So maybe that feels like a big responsibility, but really it's only the last year or so when they start getting sick and they need medical care, and it's painful. It's painful to watch them when you can't help, because they're old, just like people. What? Wait a minute. Charles Dawson, I thought you'd find this story funny. While I was in San Antonio last month, I thought I saw Jay Wilson on the Riverwalk, but it wasn't him. You should went over and pushed him in. Well, thank goodness you didn't push him in, child. Can you imagine that, Charles Dawson, if it was the wrong person? I was going to shake him up a bit. Don't shake him up. Push his ass in the water. I believe I can fly. Okay, there's somebody in here with a Jay Wilson, a picture now. Mr. Dr. Deception, Lies, Scamming, and Grinder Wilson. Well, you have the description down. I have a fear of dogs. My ex had 3 large dogs. They were our kids. One died almost a year ago after we separated. The other 2 died. Oh, one died last month. I do miss them. Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of Black people have fear of dogs because they never had them. It takes money to have dogs. If you were poor, most of us were. A lot of our parents worked. If we had 1 or 2, they worked somewhere, and nobody was there to take care of animals. So I never had a dog. I always wanted one, but I never had a dog. So I was 40-some years old. One time I brought one home when I was a little kid. I had to be about 10 years old. I was trying to hide him from my mama in our garage, and she found him, got rid of my dog, took my dog away from him. He was real sickly, though. His dog had to be 14, 15 years old. But we just couldn't afford to take care of a dog. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, me and my partner, we had a dog too back in the 80s. That dog, we left a friend in our apartment when we moved to New York. We thought we were going to move there permanently. We left a friend with the apartment and the dog, and the friend said he opened the door and told the dog go out and play. The dog ran into the street, and when we came back, the dog was crippled. I said, "You told the dog? The dog was never been off leash, honey." And he's dead too, Ronnie. That was my first friend in California. Mm-hmm. If it was me, Joe Thompson, I'd be acting like I'm one of them. What you call when your football, you charge them, girl. Boom, motherfucker. How does it feel to be on your own? All right, people. We'll come back tomorrow for the birthday celebration. Family, husband, wife. Okay. Everything I hope you sue her. It wasn't custody of your dog to fight. Full custody and put a dog for support. Yeah, people have done great things for their dog. Remember that woman, Leanna, was it Leanda Holmesley, a real rich white lady? Well, she left $5 million to her dog. And you better take care of him. Mm-hmm. Chicken. Mm-hmm. Chicken fingers. All right, you guys. Have a great night. We'll talk to you later. Oh, will you be attending church on Easter Sunday? Absolutely, honey. I wouldn't miss it for the world. I was born on Easter Sunday. I was born on that Sunday. Little old shack, Lord.